Welcome back. We are back at it again. Race, Sports, and Slams, brought to you by Boink Studios. BoinkStudios.com is where you can find us on all major streaming platforms. You can find us on iHeartRadio, YouTube, etc., etc. Part of the Tom Clark family. Tom Clark's 6M podcast, Tom Clark's main event. We have the Patton Report, and of course, your boy, Ray All Day. BoinkStudios.com, Race, Sports, and Slams. Let me bring my buddy, my partner in crime, back at it again. Matt Garvin, what's up, sir?
What's going on, America? What up, Ray? Yes, shout out to our boy TC, Tom Clark. Thank you so much, brother. I am live, America, on location in Schenectady, New York. I said to my
loyal to the show.
I had the broadcast from my car with hotspot on my phone, but I'm at my hotel here. I'm having some fellowship with family. You know, a family member passed, but I'm like, you know what? My show, we got a lot to talk about. I got a lot of New Yorkers with me in the background. So it is all good, America, and I'm here.
And of course, the third musketeer, musketeer from It's All About Payroll, my man, the car analogy guru, Mr. Walter Duncan. What's up, sir?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm glad to be back. Let's make some history tonight, all right?
Yeah, big history. We got history to do. Again, follow, like, share, subscribe, BoinkStudios.com. We are trying to make history as we speak. Lots of people to talk about. The first topic, we are getting deep into this. We're talking about the NFL, and there's some big coach changes.
Whoa.
Mike Tomlin has left the Pittsburgh Steelers. John Harbaugh has signed with the New York Giants.
New York Giants.
Sean McDermott has been fired from the Buffalo Bills, and Kevin Stefanski is the new coach of the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to kick this off first, and then I'm going to let Matt go because I know he's got a lot. Mike Tomlin, first of all, I think it's crazy that he left, but I understand it. You couldn't win with that team, especially with Mr. Ayahuasca. And I think Mr. Ayahuasca is, fortunately, I think he's coming back. So based on that, I think it's time to take a year to do some analysis. I think he'll definitely come back as a coach. I don't see him going to a team that needs a lot of rebuilding. He's too talented. He's going to need a team that's like one little stone away from like making some noise. I think he'd be a great coach for a team that's like got a winning tradition that, like I said, just needs that one little push. For the Giants, John Harbaugh, God bless him. He's going to help your team a lot. He's a great coach. We'll see what he could do. I think he's going to make that team way better than they were. And hey, kudos to you, Mack. I know you're a big Giants fan. Sean McDermott, I'm a little surprised that he got fired. The Bills actually made it, in the playoffs pretty much every year, but I guess results are results. And Kevin Stefanski, I think he's just friends with Matt Ryan and got that job on Atlanta. So kudos to him. All right, Mac, unload.
Yeah. You know what? Listen, you're right about Kevin Stefanski. How are you going to go and coach an NFL team where your starting quarterback most likely this coming season will be Kyle Penix Jr.? We obviously see how you feel about African-American quarterbacks from the last team you were on. And you're right. Matt Ryan, I'm still confused of how this guy's a GM with no experience whatsoever of being in a position and just hire some dude because maybe you're friends. So hopefully Stefanski doesn't have any ties to any current players in reference to his wife's dad that will cause a hindrance of a player on the team to do something great. So, and if in America, if you don't know, listen to our podcast 3 weeks ago. We talked about it. You can Google it up and verify it. Sean McDermott, I was telling the fellas, damn, they just cut him in even 24 hours. Dang, man. Don't let the man, he can't even take a flight home. Now, like, no, you ain't getting on this plane. Go fly coach somewhere else. Like, dang, it wasn't even a whole day. And then listen, John Harbaugh, listen, we have a coach now, America. I'm just so you know, I'm up in Schenectady, New York. I'm a diehard New York Giants fan. Long story, one day off air, someone wants to ask, I'll tell you. My thing is this. He's a great hire because he's our first coach since Coughlin that had experience of being a head coach, winning as a head coach, offer structure and discipline with our team. Our last three were off or OC or DC and first time head coaches. I'm like, you can't be that in New York. You need to have experience this season to deal with the media. And then Mike Tomlin, my boy Keith, I went on record and said he's been asked for him to go 2 years ago. And of course, I saw him this past week. I'm like, hey, you got what you wanted, bro. Now who you gonna get? You know what I mean? Like, what coach is gonna walk in there after this guy? The last 7 seasons, they were over 500 and they made it to the playoffs. But all 19 of his years were at least 500 or more. So I don't know what coach they're going to do to come in. He hopes they get Brian Flores. I get it, but they got to interview someone. So it's going to be crazy right now.
Yeah,
facts.
It's insane. And the fun thing about Mike Tomlin, the difference with him with the other three were fired from their jobs. Mike Tomlin resigned, so a team would have to give up draft picks or trade to get him as a head coach. And it makes sense for him just to go hang out a year, really devote time with his family, his spouse, and family. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Facts.
And you're right. He can come back anytime he wants to, and there'll be 6 interviews lined up. So,
all right. Walt, you're the closer. Mariano Rivera, let's go.
So, Mike Tomlin, I can understand why he left. He took great pride in that city and his team and his players in what he did as a head coach. Basically gave the blueprint of what a head coach should be. Now, with that being said, his last playoff win was 2016, almost 10 seasons ago.
Yeah.
So he's probably like, look, the town, people love that I have a winning record every year, but we get to the playoffs and in the last 10 years, we haven't had a win, in the playoffs. So, yeah, we get there, but, look, that's saying more than a lot of teams out there because some teams are constantly out of the playoffs every year. I think
you can say it to Giants, Walt. We're trash for 10 years.
No, my team is worse than yours. The Miami Dolphins have.
That's
25 years.
Years though.
25 years.
At least 10 years of okay.
25 years since the playoff win. 25 years, man. Yeah, I was still a little whippersnapper. So yeah, Mike Tomlin, I understand. I think he's going to do just like you said, Mac. I think he's going to take a year off, maybe get into television, like with the broadcasting and stuff. And if he wants to come back, he might follow that Sean Payton blueprint. Sean Payton left for a year and then went to the Broncos. So we may see a team open up after this season coming, and the team may get rid of their coach, and he may step in and they'll turn it around. For John Harbaugh, I think that's a great hire for the New York Giants. I really don't have much to say about it. I think he's going to come in and instill himself in that team and everything. I think they do have to get rid of the GM, or maybe John Harbaugh can get the GM right, whatever.
Doesn't he have autonomy now over the GMs?
I don't know.
No. I think because there was a little stick in the contract that prevented him from signing right away, and I think it was a lot of
I know there's
decision-making.
Stipulations. Like of course, every coach brings in their own squad.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think if Harbaugh says I don't like this guy, he's gone. I think so.
Yeah. And so I think that the only thing I worry about with John is that there were rumors and rumblings at the Ravens that he lost the locker room. So I want to know what that's about. Can he speak to these younger generation of players? Because it's not, the players are different than they were when he had Ray Lewis and all those other guys. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. Sean McDermott, I can see this. I saw this on the tea leaves. I think I even mentioned that on one of these last couple episodes. I think that Sean McDermott, he just couldn't get it done with that group of guys. And the NFL is a win now league. What do they say? It stands for not for long.
Not for long. That's right, brother.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you got to get it right or you're out of here. And then Kevin Stefanski, there are some people in Atlanta. I'm a newish Atlanta resident, so a lot of people are upset that they hired him. And a lot of people are mad at Matt Ryan and Arthur Blank because Arthur Blank created a president of football position for Matt Ryan that's never been. So he made a position that Matt Ryan's in, and he had influence. Yeah, he had influence over this decision to help hire Kevin Stefanski. And I think I don't know if it's going to go well for him. I think I think after this, I think he's on a short leash.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't win this year with the talent that he has on the team, because they need to just sort out their quarterback, and I think they can shore up the defense, and they have some offensive weapons and stuff. If he can't win, I think they should put him on a short leash, honestly.
I hope so, man.
All right, a couple of quick questions before we go into our next topic.
Yeah.
Do you think, and this is for both you guys, obviously, who do you think has the shorter leash, I should say?
Shorter leash.
John or Kevin? I'm saying Kevin because this coach came out of nowhere, and he's not a proven winner, so I feel like he's going to be like a one-and-done situation, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but if you're telling me between those two, I think John could have I don't think he will, but he could have a flop season, and he's good. He's locked in. But Kevin, I feel like he's got to have to make the playoffs, or it's not going to be good for him. Would you both agree, or what do you think?
I 100% agree. And you're right. John Harbaugh signed. Now, we don't know what Kev signed for, but John Harbaugh signed for 5 years, $100 million. And I said this to a fan last night downstairs. We were watching the playoff game. I'm like, listen, in our situation, we had 3 wins last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we get 5, 6, 7, 8, the fans will be like, that's called, in my mind, that's called progress.
Yes.
But if next year we all of a sudden go to the NFC Championship, then it's going to be like bust or nothing. And that's the problem that the Redskins have. They were bottom of the barrel when they got Jaden Daniels, went to the NFC Championship game. Now this year they didn't make the playoffs. Now the fan base is pissed off. Well, you won too fast. Your schedule got accelerated too soon. If they would have been 500 last year, and then this year kind of up and down, like, yeah, we're not expecting a lot. We weren't nothing before. But because they went to the championship, NFC knocked on the door at the championship against the Eagles. And it was a close game. Now they're like, this season, when we hit here, they're like, yeah, if we ain't going to the Super Bowl, we ain't watching. Like, you know what I mean? And he got hurt, and then here we are, so it brought him back to earth again. So yeah, bro. John's got all the time. Well, Kevin don't. He don't.
Agreed.
All right. I want to hear you agree with everything. Okay.
Yep.
Before we get to the next topic, let's shout out some of our listeners. First, let's start out to Tim Gonzalez. What's up, Tim? How you doing, brother?
What up?
What's up?
Good to see
and of
you
course,
again,
Fernando.
Fernando, what's good, man?
What is good, Fernando?
Where's Maria at?
And of course, Maria is here.
All
She's
right.
loyal too. She's saying
All
Kevin
right,
for sure.
Yep. That's right, Maria. Yep.
All right. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate you tremendously.
Where's Eric at? Chime in, bro.
All right. The next topic is a big one, and tonight is the national championship. The Miami Hurricanes are playing Indiana for the big one. Mendoza versus the Canes. All right. I'm going to let Matt kick this off first. I will go second, and you are still Mariano Rivera because I like when you close. So, Matt, what you got? Who's winning and why? And let me get your thoughts on this.
So here's my thoughts, America. So first things first, this is the Indiana Hoosiers' first opportunity of winning a college championship. We know they're a school that is known for basketball, not football. It's kind of like with Notre Dame. Notre Dame's got a basketball team. However, the Fighting Irish, when you say Irish, you think football. So Mendoza being the Heisman Trophy winner, I think he has the poise, but it's going to be to Miami with Beck, the confidence and his veteran leadership. They've got the pedigree of winning championships. Not that that's relevant because the players from, NFL don't come back to college and play, but I think they know know how to win. Mendoza's gone after this year. Let's see what Indiana does next year when he's gone. When Wonder Boy's gone, we'll see what they got then. So I think Miami's going to win.
Believe it or not, I think Miami's going to win for one reason only. The ACC versus the Big Ten. It's two different worlds, my friend. You could be number one in a league that doesn't have a lot of talent versus another league that's number one. If I'm playing in a league where I'm up against butchers, bakers, and plumbers versus guys who actually could play, it's different worlds, dude. It's different worlds. Indiana's playing farmers and guys that bale hay. Miami's playing dogs. Yo, the ACC is tough. And look at the linemen. We had this conversation off air. Look at the linemen. Everybody on Miami's line has got to be 50, 60 pounds heavier than everybody. So, dude, I know Indiana's the favorite. They got the wonder kid. Mendoza's the be-all, end-all. He's better than sliced bread with delicious warm butter. But, dude, people are sleeping on Miami. For some reason, people think Miami just got here because someone said, Miami, and you're here. They had to win some games, my friends. For those who college football, you had to win 2. Now with the national championship, it's more of a bracket thing like the NFL now. You got to win games, second round, third round. They've won 3 rounds against top-tier teams. And, dude, people are poo-pooing on them like it gets a foregone conclusion. So, dude, I'm going with the Canes. Shout out to Michael Irvin and all my Miami Hurricane fans, but Miami's got this. But, of course, Walt Disney, the closer, Mariano Rivera, is probably going to go the other way. So, go ahead.
So, guys, look, Indiana has been the number 1 team for quite some time.
That's season. True. They undefeated.
They locked down Ohio State. They demolished. Who did they just play in the game before this?
Oregon.
They blew them out. Blew Oregon out.
Like 56 to.
You know what I'm saying? Like
16,
Indiana's the real deal. But I have to go with Miami. I'm a Florida guy here. Like, call me a homer or whatever, but I have to go with Miami here. And this is why. I think that pass rush for Miami shows up tonight.
Yeah.
And they put so much pressure on Mendoza that it rattles him and it causes him to make enough mistakes.
Bad decisions,
That is what gives Miami the edge in the end. So I think all 3 of us are on the same page with this Miami pick. I think that's why. I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a very good game. But I think Miami's going to pull it off in the end.
Little comments, Tim Gonzalez.
Yeah.
4 letters, 1 word, ACC. Preach, brother. Preach. 2 different worlds, dude. It's like bowling in a professional league and then bowling for your father's dry cleaning business. Like, come on, dude. It's 2 different worlds.
Checkers, right?
Big Ten and ACC, dude. Chess and checkers. Eric Cologne, what's up, brother?
Guy.
Indiana seems like a team of destiny. Would like to see a team that's never done it before pulling for any name, even though it would be a Miami home game.
All right.
Well, you know what? Sweet dreams are made of these, but I am here to disagray.
Yeah, right. I appreciate the sentiment.
I appreciate it.
Right. It would be great if they did, but
is on our side. Miami's on a different level. They're on a whole new level. Yeah. And of course, our boy Tom Clark. I'm ACC coach. You got to go with the conference. Exactly. It's a different world. Yeah. People are poo-pooing on the ACC. I'm like, dude, I don't understand this. I'm not a huge college football guy, but even I know, dude, there's levels to this. You know what I mean? It's just completely different. Switching gears, we're going to go to the NFL now. And the Broncos eked out a 33-30 win over the Buffalo Bills. Unfortunately, Bo Nix broke his ankle. He is done. But I'm going to sing this now to the Buffalo Bills fans out there. All you Buffalo Bill lovers. There's a song that everybody, the 3 of us both know, by Rough Ends. It goes, no more. That's right. No more. No more late night creep. No more VIP. No more Bills.
VIP.
No more VIP. No more. No more. No more. I don't want to hear no more.
And we're going to give you another song, America. It's called by a group called To The Extreme. Cry no more, no more.
Chime in, Walt. You know the words. Cry no more. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Josh Allen is on the TV crying, boo-hoo-hooing. Like we were all in high school when your girlfriend dumped you. He's boo-hoo-hooing like you lost a little league game when you were a little league and you dropped the ball and you're crying, boo-hoo-hoo. Buffalo Nation, I don't want to hear it. We are done. We are done. It is a wrap. It's like Christmas. It's over.
It's over.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Walt, you can go in now, and then Mack is going to be the Rivera. He will close. Go ahead. What you got?
It's unfortunate that Bo Nix, broke his foot or his ankle on the second to last play of the game. We were talking about this ahead of time, and you and I said that it was the play that he took the knee. But it was actually the play before that when he took a sweep left. So Mack, you're right about that. So he broke his foot on that play. Look, I think the Bills, they have to do some soul searching. Right now, that Jim Kelly stigma, the Bills of old or coming back to haunt them, the ghosts of the past, showing up. And so Josh Allen has to shake that off of him, right? That Jim Kelly ghost, is on his shoulder. That Jim Kelly monkey is right there, like, hey, you're gonna be in the same boat as me. We had some great teams, and but Josh can't even make it to the Super Bowl, so I don't know if I can put him in the same boat as Jim Kelly now.
He can't be Jim Kelly because we should win. This guy ain't even made it there yet.
All right, Mac, you close it. Let's go.
This is it's unfortunate, that the man got injured because next week, the Broncos, they're playing the Hogs, bro. This game's over already. Just write it down. Write it in. Like, you know what I mean? But the one thing I will say is this. Like, everyone always talks about, like, oh, he's playing with nobodies. Who's Cooks? You're right. Cooks got elevated from practice squad 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, I understand, like they had to press his jersey and make one with the letters on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he is playing with a lot of nobodies, but the bottom line is Brady played with nobodies also, too, and turned him into a household name. So now everyone knows who Cooks is, but the bottom line is this. When the prevailing comment and issue has been for the last 4 seasons, it's been Mahomes and Jackson. He can't get over the hump with these guys. He can't beat them, blah, 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 blah. And now this year, neither one of them were there. And so there was no valid reason. Okay, he got banged a little bit too. But the bottom line, and the crying at the press conference was classic. This one's on me. This one's going to hurt a little more. And I'm like, yeah, because you ain't going to do it next year because Mahomes will be back and Lamar will be back. So that's why.
Yeah,
and not just us two, but Burrow, if he's healthy and can play all the season, he has to worry about Burrow too.
I forgot. Yeah. Can't forget Burrow. So, and it's unfortunate Bo Nix got hurt. I mean, it is what it is.
But you remember your favorite toy when you were little and you were so upset and you were crying? That was Josh Allen. He was doing that.
Oh my God,
he was doing I broke my toy cry.
I'm taking my football and going home.
I'm going home, my football. Yeah, when you remember you threw the football and went over the fence and you couldn't get your football and you cried. That was Josh Allen. He was boo-hooing, hooing. Oh, my God.
Okay, fans, I need fans to chime in. Who can tell us who the quarterback for the Broncos is going to be next week and tell me some decent stat about him? You can probably figure out his name, but I guarantee there'll be no stats you can tell us.
Let's go to some comments first.
Go ahead.
Maria says Indiana all the way. Maria, I love you, but you gotta stop sniffing glue. I appreciate you though.
Right.
Wayne Robinson, first of all, Josh Allen blew his chance. Second, Denver ain't going nowhere. Unfortunately, that's right.
Exactly.
New England just walks it to the Super Bowl. If Josh Allen was a song, it'd be all around the world, same song. All around the world, same song. See, all around the world.
It is, Josh Allen. This is my fault. I took the blame on this, blah, blah, blah. You're right. Same song.
Yeah. Same song.
Every year,
the next question is, now that Bo Nix is out, they're back up. For those who don't know, did some construction work over at Mack's house, did some painting. I think he did some shrubbery work. He cut his grass. His name is Jason Stidham?
Yeah, Stidham.
Jarrett Stidham. Sit him down. He's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Sit him down. He's playing quarterback for the Denver Broncos. I don't know who this guy is, other than, like I said, I saw him in Mack's video when he was doing some like painting and some like handyman work for Mack, which I thought he did a pretty good job. But he had to leave.
He's got to touch up 1 or 2 things though with the paint, though.
Oh, okay, he's got to come back, but he had to take a week off because now he needs to go play football. So he told Mack, "Listen, I need a week off." Mack was nice enough to let him go play football.
Like, all right,
but you got to come back after this loss.
Come back. I'm not paying you until you finish this paint, bro.
Exactly. So you're watching, Stidham. So make sure. Is there any shot on God's green earth Denver comes away with a win next week?
Well, look, for me,
2-3.
I think that the Patriots defense is just too good. No matter how much they get Jarrett to prepare for this. And here's another interesting note. Like, Jarrett was on the Patriots a while ago. He was the best QB. Yeah. And so he didn't stick there. So that might tell you a little something. So they may still have the tape on Jarrett. and they may pull it out and dust it off like we got this guy. He's cooked. So
Mac Jones was on the Pats too. So anything's possible.
So look, is anything possible? Yes. When they say any given Sunday, that's a true thing. That's a true statement. Like we've seen some games where some powerhouse teams go into somebody else's house and they lose. They're going to be playing in Denver, right?
Took them for granted.
They're going to be playing.
I think so. It's in Denver, Mile High. Yeah.
So I think Denver's going to compete, but I think New England pulls away and it ends up not being too close in the end.
Speaking of New England, they won this week. They beat the Houston Texans. I know my wife is happy because she does not like Houston. I'm going to say this, first of all. That was probably one of the ugliest games I've ever seen in my life. So many turnovers.
Oh, my God.
CJ Stroud needs to go back to quarterback school because I don't know what you were doing. I don't know who you were throwing to. But the guys that are wearing the other uniforms, they play for the other team. You want to throw it to the guys that are wearing the uniforms you're wearing. So if I'm wearing blue and Walt's wearing blue and Mack's wearing red, I'm not throwing it to Mack because he's on the other team. I'm throwing it to Walt because he's wearing blue.
Right. Maybe I'm colorblind.
Yeah, I guess so. But that's what I thought. If we're wearing the same colors, right? I'm throwing to the guy that's wearing my team color. I'm not saying, hey, Mack, you want to catch the ball too? No, that's not. We're not playing. We're not playing catch. Yes. We're playing football. So CJ Stroud needs a lot of work. I think New England stumbled in because if that was anybody else, if anybody else was playing quarterback for Houston, Houston wins that game. They would have smoked through them because, dude, the defense saved him so many times. Eventually, the defense got exhausted and burnt out. So
I think the
Patriots got in because it was just a matter of who could play worse. And I think Drake, played just a little less poo-pooey than CJ, and ipso facto, he's in there. So we'll see. But what do you think about this win, Mac? What do you think about New England?
Man, listen, I mean, I am not a Pats fan. I met a dude in the lobby. He said, listen, I've been a Pats fan since way back when Drew Bledsoe came to our team. I'm like, family born and raised in Boston. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm going to leave you alone. I said, you didn't join the wagon 10 years ago, did you? No. I think the situation's that Drake May is definitely MVP talk conversation, more so than Sam, I would think at this point. Now, here's the reality of the situation.
That's a hot take.
He just got there this year. The coach just got there this year. It just goes to show how coaching matters. Now, mind you, Mac Jones was there the year before. They cut him, and that's how they got Drake May because their record was so trash. So I think he's on this fairy tale situation like Jaden Daniels was. You know what I mean? They went to the NFC Championship. Drake May's playing well. I think he's MVP talent. Did I think they deserve to win the game? You're right, because, oh my gosh, I don't know what that brother from Texas was looking at or throwing. I mean, Snoop should have talked to him at halftime because I don't know what happened to him. He just fell off of, I don't know, bro. He just could not get it together.
Dude. Oh,
and now I'm wondering if the coach is going to get fired because they lost.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's another guy that may get on the outs. We just didn't hear it yet.
If they do, that's a mistake. Oh my God!
Oh my God, dude! I take that coach. D'Amico is a beast. I take him in a heartbeat. But what do you think? Well, I mean, were you impressed, or was it like I said, the battle of the poo-poo?
Look, it was a defensive battle. Like Drake. His receivers made some outstanding catches. Did you see those catches that Diggs and Booty made?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Diggs. Yeah.
Diggs made some great catches.
They were crazy touchdown catches, right? You take those two touchdowns away, the Patriots lose 14 to 16.
How about that?
So his players came through for Drake. Like, I wasn't on the Drake May train until later on in the season, and then I actually started saying, like, okay, this guy is actually legit. He finished the season with a 113 or 114 passer rating. 72 completion percent, something like that. And so, this guy is definitely playing like the MVP. And he did just enough in that game, the defensive battle, to push his team over the top. And CJ Stroud, he helped them out, like you were saying, right? He was like, hey, guys, I want you guys to go, I want you guys to go to the Super Bowl or the championship game instead of me.
Exactly. We don't need it.
No,
we don't want it.
I don't know what happened to CJ because, in his rookie year, he came out looking like he was going to be the truth.
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
He came out like slinging, and I was just like, man, this guy's going to be legit. Then he had that sophomore drop off, and he's kind of been that guy ever since.
And last year they made it to the championship. They made it to the playoffs last year.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
But that was an ugly win, dude. I've seen some ugly wins in football, but dude, that was puke. That was making me throw up. That was nasty, dude. I mean, I don't know.
I didn't even really watch, bro. I just got updates because I'm like, the first game was so emotionally draining. I'm like, damn, bro, this is amazing. I caught highlights, bro.
Pitcher Cephas has a chance to be burnt out in my house stadium early. Hey, dude, I don't know.
Yeah, I am.
Breaking news. The Raiders owner is in Miami to watch Fernando Mendoza. I'm sure he is because the Raiders have the one pick. Yeah, Fernando. I get it. I get it. All right, we're switching gears, and we're talking about Seattle's 41-6 win over the 49ers. Unfortunately, Zach Attack is out. I don't know if he broke his knee or what. He tore something, but he's out of the playoffs. What do you think this means for Seattle? And do you give this victory any credence, considering they were playing a bunch of third and fourth string players on the 49ers? I'm going to let Walt go first, and then Mack will go, and then I will be Mariano Rivera.
No problem.
Look, I just think Seattle, after their last game with San Francisco, because I think they played for in week 18 for like the title of the division, right?
Yeah.
Title, right? And so Seattle played them tough then. It just didn't score a lot of points that time. But I think San Francisco scored 3 or 6 points then too, right? Mm-hmm. So like San Francisco wasn't able to do anything then. So I think it's just another tell. Like the defense, the Seattle Seahawks defense just came to play, and they were more aggressive, and they got a bunch of turnovers, and they shut them down like they did in Week 18. So I think this is more about the Seattle defense, more so the San Francisco offense. And look, San Francisco had a bunch of injuries. Kittle hurt. I think McCaffrey was playing injured. I don't think he was all the way 100%, but nobody is. But I think McCaffrey had a lot of dings and stuff like that on him and stuff. So I think that's why. And for Zach Charbonnet, he tore his ACL.
Oh, okay.
Woo. So he tore his ACL, and I think that I think they'll be okay. I don't know who the third string guy is. Walker, he's still solid, but he's been injury prone too over the last couple of years. So if Walker can stay healthy and their third string guy is good, or maybe they have somebody on the practice squad that can come up and just kind of spell him a little bit, the Seattle Seahawks should look okay.
Okay. Mac, what you got?
All right. So, America, I got some information given to me by my daughter about the Seahawks have some divine intervention going on. So, this is information. You can all look it up. And I said, are you sure? And she was like, yeah, Dad. So, she sent it to me. So, just so you guys know, the Seahawks have destiny with Nevada. So, in 2005, when they went to Super Bowl, they played with it was the Seahawks, and the Pope Benedict became the new Pope in 2005. Now, they played the Steelers and lost, mind you, but they were in the Super Bowl. 2013, Pope Francis is elected. The Hawks go to the Super Bowl. They win. The following year, as we all know, they lost. They went back-to-back, but they lost the second year. And just so you guys know, a new Pope Leo was just elected this year to the Vatican, and the Hawks are on the cusp of going to the NFC Championship and to the Super Bowl. So they may have some divine guidance and luck with the football gods, as we call them. So I don't know. So I think the Hawks, I think the fact that Sam Darnold, the rumor with his he injured his pectoral muscle, whatever it was, that whole conversation before the game. And then, of course, he warmed up in the background, not on the field, and then walked out 45 minutes and played a hell of a game. They blew them out of the water. This was a blowout game. Last week, as we all know, all of the wild card games were nail biters. Me, Texan Ray, are you watching this, bro? Are you watching this? And he's like, I see, man, I see. Yeah,
dude, it's crazy.
Last night's game. So I do believe, like the 49ers, I think they're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, Pope Leo thinks so.
All right. I'm impressed with Seattle. I think their defense is, to Walter's point, very solid. But I just don't know if Sam I Am, Green Eggs and Ham, can get to the Super Bowl. I think he could try, but we shall see. I mean, it's hard to gauge their talent when you're playing nobody. There's nobody left except McCaffrey. No Kittle. You have no receivers. Dude, and Purdy, I'm sorry, there's a lot of people that think Purdy's good. He ain't good. He's
about
mediocre.
to say he got exposed.
Purdy is, if we're going to go to the car analogy, Purdy is a nice Honda Civic. Not top of the line, not the bottom. He's a medium Honda Civic, like where it's got a little features, doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it has leather seats and a little air conditioning.
So Ray, I have to challenge you here a little bit, right? Because you said that that the Seahawks didn't play anybody because all the injuries. But shouldn't that same logic count for the Bills too?
No question. No question. No question. But still lost. And Bill Nation keeps talking. The only good thing about this, I'll say this and I'll end this too. I don't have to hear anything about Niners bang bang gang. I don't want to hear that Wu-Tang Clan, none of that and stuff. I don't want to hear that either. So I'm done hearing about that too. So that's a huge one. All right. The next topic is probably going to hurt Mac a lot. The Rams, behind the real MVP, Matt Stafford, beat Chicago 20-17. I will kick this off. Chicago looked good. Caleb Williams threw a touchdown that I've never seen thrown in my life. Triple pressure, about to get knocked on his keister, threw a touchdown in the end zone. I was like, oh my God. But then Caleb started feeling himself. And after the Rams kicked off in overtime because they obviously couldn't score, all he needed to do was kick a field goal. Game's over. But Caleb thinks he's the Iceman, thinks he's King Kong, thinks he's Denzel Washington, and threw a nice, tasty picky McPick. And of course, the real MVP, Matt Stafford, said, okay, it's time to be video game Matt Stafford. Just throwing little darts. Next thing you know, that kicker, who I was like, wow, this dude needs to he needs to like hit the gym ASAP because that's a husky little dude. He kicked it right through the uprights, but dude, it looked like he was struggling getting his leg up. So I'm a little worried about you. Came through, Rams Nation, guys. You guys look like I said, a well-oiled machine. I think the Rams are going to beat the brakes out of Seattle and go to the Super Bowl. That is my pick, and I'm sticking with it. Matt Stafford, MVP. Rams, the video game team of the year. I'm gonna let Walt go second, and Matt can close it. What you got?
Oh my God,
that's an interesting take there. Like I think Chicago definitely came to play. I think we saw Caleb, kind of go to the next level this year. Nobody was picking them, to let alone win the division or anything like that, or to compete the way they did. So I think we're seeing the transcendence of Caleb Williams. He still has some things to learn, and I think this was a tough lesson for him to learn. But I think he's that type of the caliber of player or QB that he's going to learn from this and take it into next year and hopefully, take it beyond because he was looking good. He had his guys right there. One mistake is all it took for him to mess it up, and we'll be talking about him going against Seattle instead of Matt Stafford, right? So Matt Stafford and these guys, they seem like they're destined to go to the Super Bowl or whatever. But I'm not sleeping on that Seattle. That Seattle defense is number one in the league for a reason.
And who's number one offense?
And the Rams, but
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
The Rams, but Seattle.
One more time. Can I hear that one more time? Can I get an amen from the congregation?
Ray, hold on, Ray. Who lost to Seattle in that one clutch time game? It was the Rams, the number one offense. Lost to them, right? And so and the Seahawks won the division as well, right? So I think either way, we're going to have a rematch of a Super Bowl. It's either going to be the Rams and the Patriots or the Patriots and the Seahawks. Because the Patriots beat the Rams and the Seahawks, right? So it's going to be a rematch either way. But I think for me, Super Bowl picks, Patriots, Seahawks.
Wow. Okay. Mac, you are the Mario Rivera. Let's go.
All right. So, first of all, my condolences to my future son-in-law, Roman Best. My daughter sent him a message, and he was like, "This." He goes, "I'm having a rough night, babe." He was at work, working last night, and of course, we're watching in the lobby, and I'm rooting for him. And this is the one thing that's frustrating because they had an opportunity to win and went. They made it to. You're right. That pass when he shuffled back and threw that ball that got in zone, I jumped out of my chair. I'm like, "Oh my God!" And the whole stadium erupted. I was like freaking out in the lobby, bro. I was like, "Wow!" My daughter's like, "Wow, they're gonna win this game." Now the bartender for the place we're at, right? I'm watching there, and I'm in the hotel lobby. Her parents are Bears fans. She goes, her mom and dad were at the game.
Woo.
And I was like, "Really?" She was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I hope they got isotoners and hand warmers." It looked like it was cold. So, of course, we're watching. And I've said this before with Caleb. He likes to play hero ball. All they had to do, 36 seconds at least. It's a second down. Why not get 5 more yards? Now they only needed a field goal to win. What does he do? Goes for a bomb. And the guy intercepts it. Wasn't look like no one's near. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would the coach call in and say, "Hey, just go for a deep ball," or was that all ad lib on him? All you needed to do is move the ball matricularly down the field. You know what I mean? Like, just get 5 more dink and dunks. You've got time. They had a timeout. You just need them in field goal range.
That's
and
it.
He went forward, and then they turn around and lost. Now, just for some clarity, America, also too, there has been 40-plus starting quarterbacks since Jim McMahon won the Super Bowl with the Super Bowl Shuffle back in '85. That's how long they have been looking for another solid quarterback. Now, mind you, Rex Grossman took them to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Love way back, like almost 15 years ago between Manning when they went to Super Bowl. So I do Lovie Smith and what's the other coach's name? I can't think of his name offhand. But what I'm saying is this: it's hard to find the quarterback. It is hard to find the guy. They have him now. All he has to do and understand with locker room conversation, the confidence is there now with believing in him. Everyone has 100% bought him now. Caleb wins his guy. And it was obvious to see in the last 2 weeks, and we commented 2 weeks in a row, coming from behind 18-plus, conversation at halftime in the locker room. The coach is like, "If we don't win, we're going home. We've been here before, boys. Let's go get them," and walk out. And then tonight, it was tied. It was 10-10 going to halftime. They weren't behind. So I'm like, maybe, but we saw what happened in the end. I think in the Super Bowl, I told you before, divine intervention, the Seahawks are going to play the Pats. That's my answer.
There we go.
All right.
Let me
ask this question.
Tony Dungy. Yes,
we're going to switch gears, but let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Why are people poo-pooing on Matt Stafford? The dude has been playing lights out all year. He came back and was like, "Oh, you're going to turn the ball over to me?"
Because it was too close, Ray. It was too close.
Oh, my God.
Look, the Panthers almost got him. The Bears almost got him. And you're talking about those caliber of defenses are not the Seattle Seahawks defense.
Yeah, and if was the fifth, we'd all be drunk. So I don't get it. A lot of ifs. So dude, Matt Stafford is a beast.
Yes.
He's top 10, but I don't think he's top 5. All right,
wow, you'll put him in top 5.
We'll stand that for another topic.
That's another topic. Oh my God.
All right. Sorry.
Chicago had no business getting greedy for a play for 35+ yards. I agree.
Thank you,
Maurice. I appreciate you.
Reese.
I appreciate you. This is not the Legion of Boom Seahawks. I know it's not. Tell these guys, Fernando, preach, brother, preach. I don't know,
man. Their defense kept him in the game, bro. That's why it was 41.
Oh my goodness!
You know what? No. Because old boy, Mr. Irrelevant, he did make Brock Purdy. He threw some picks too that turned into points. So never mind.
We're switching to the NBA. This is Walt's favorite sport, and also this is one of my loves. Jonathan Big Baby Kuminga has demanded a trade from the Golden State Warriors. For some reason, he thinks he's Steph Curry and is pouting, going to fit, getting the boo-hoos and the cries and the temper tantrums, throwing his rattle, throwing his baby bottle. I want to be out. I don't want to be out. I want to know, Mac, I'm going to let you start this off. Where do you think he ends up going? Do you think Golden State will actually trade him? And if they can't trade him, will they still play him? Will they bench him at this point? What's going to happen? Because obviously it's going to disrupt the whole, chemistry with the team because he's flat out, publicly announced he wants out. So what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks, the next couple of games, I should say. And I'm going to let you go first. I'll give you my take, and then Mario and Rivera will be Walt today.
Okay. Rivera Walt. Okay.
Rivera Walt, go.
So this is one of these deals where he knows he's not getting playing time because of Steph Curry. Steph Curry has gotten injured, but I don't think he's talented enough to want to be a trade when you weren't even a starter. Like let's put this where it is. It was Kuminga one of the starting five for the Golden State, yes or no?
No.
Exactly. So how do you think being the sixth man, you're entitled to anything if you're not even a starter? Like, you know what I'm saying? The Splash Brothers broke up last year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Did he deserve to be traded? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he asked to be traded, but the fact that he was one of their starters says it all. Kuminga's not even a starter. Like, go somewhere and have a seat. Just like last week's trade with your boy from Atlanta. Now
that Walt thinks is a fair trade. Yeah, I forgot CJ McCollum for the Iceman.
This could be a colorful trade. Go ahead and get rid of him, bro. He wasn't even a starter. Goodbye.
All right. I'm going to say this, dude. I can't piggyback so much off Matt because it's just like he's preaching gospel right now. To Jonathan Kuminga, you're a good role player. You're a good sixth man. You're a good 3-and-D guy. But you're acting like you're Stephen Curry. Like, for you to have a public an outrageous fit and demand, and I need to be traded ASAP. No one's using my talents. Dude, you're a sixth man. I don't understand where this is coming from. I think he will get picked up because, Golden State's actually a decent team, and I think he's going to ruin the chemistry by just him staying on the team and not playing. So I think he will get traded. I don't know to who, but it's going to be a team that needs a 3-and-D guy. If he thinks he's going to be starting for any team, he's got to put that glue away that he's sniffing in his locker and face reality. All right, well, what do you think, and what's your take on this?
Look, I've heard some rumblings through different interviews and stuff like that, that people say that Jonathan in practice is besides Steph Curry is the best player that they have, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it doesn't translate to the court because of his mental capacity to go in there and say, you know what, I'm going to play my role. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to do what the coach is asking of me. I'm going to hustle. And I think that's what's messing him up in this case. I think he's supremely talented. I think he can definitely start on somebody's team. I think the reason he doesn't definitely is because Jimmy Butler is there. If Jimmy Butler wasn't on this team, I think you will see Kuminga in the starting lineup more so. But is he this all-world, supremely talented player? No. But could he start on somebody else's team? Sure. Maybe Atlanta can pick him up and
because you let your boy go to the Wizards.
But are you putting him in the same class as Jimmy Buckets?
I'm not saying that he's that level yet, but I think he could definitely, on the right team and in the right environment, could thrive with the right team. But
Matt, do you agree with that?
His mental aspect needs to change.
And I understand where you're coming from, Walt. I mean, everyone thinks they're the best. Well, first of all, they're in the NBA for a reason. They're not G League. So everyone should be they should be talent. And if they went to the G League, should be able to blow people out in the G League because of their talent and their ability. I think, Walt, you're on the right track. With another team, could they roll him into the starting rotation? Yeah, because you're right. If he's being overshadowed by too much talent, could be why, and that could be why he's asking to be traded too.
Because he's not taking Jimmy Butler's talent. He's not taking Jimmy Butler's spot.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone thinks they want to be the best. I mean, I called Kuminga to come shovel for me. He didn't want to. So I was like, all right, fine. If you want to complain, go ahead. You know what I mean? But I think he's a situation where if he was on another team, would he probably start? I think they'll try to put him in rotation, because if you've got talent, there's too much talent on the team already, then I do believe that the league knows and requests players for that reason. You know, so. So yeah,
he's got it right. Cry baby Kuminga. That's right.
They don't need Kuminga on the team, honestly.
What team would fit in Kuminga's system? That's a good question. Maybe Atlanta.
Atlanta. He can go there and take a starting spot. He can go to maybe New Orleans and take somebody's starting spot at like power forward or something like that.
Okay.
He's got to go to a team that needs a forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about the Suns? You know what I mean?
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
I mean? Like
if he doesn't want to win, he just wants to get minutes and start, go to like Atlanta.
Well, go to Washington Wizards.
Go to the Wizards. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The Wizards,
minutes, I mean, they may press his jersey and put it in the, you know what I mean, in the sports
but if he's looking to if he's looking to be on a contending team and be a starter, now you're hallucinating. So I don't know.
About the Lakers, they'll take a lot of people.
I don't know where he would fit on the Lakers. That's my question. If he would be a good bench player on the Lakers, but if he's looking to start, come on, dude.
Yeah, he has to buy in, whether he starts or if he's coming off the bench.
Yeah,
Jonathan has to buy in, and I think that's the first problem. Yeah.
Yes. If and I'm sure you both will agree, if he's willing to take his role as a sixth man, then the Lakers should take him. Any team could take him then, because then he brings value. But if he's looking to take, starters now, like, come on, dude, I'm not taking Smart over you. You're out of your mind. Yeah. Staying in the NBA, first time in forever, LeBron King James is not a starting player in the All-Star game.
Yep. Wow.
Starters are Shea Gilly, Ozempa Luka, Victor, I need to eat a little more, and Jalen Brunson. No LeBron. I am shocked. I'm very surprised. LeBron is still going to play. What do you think this says about LeBron and the NBA and the All-Star game in general? What's your take on this? I'm going to let Walt go first now, and then Mack can come in, and then I'll close.
It happens. It even happens to the greatest of players, right? It happened to Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
When he was on the Wizards, he went to the All-Star game, and he was voted on second team. And because Vince Carter was gracious enough to give him his starting spot, that's the reason why Jordan started that game. So I don't think it really says anything about LeBron. I think there's a lot of good, talented, upcoming young players in the league, and we're starting to see the sunset of LeBron's career. And I think kind of that, right? And the same thing happened with Jordan. So I think that's what it is. I think someone may give him their spot out of respect, like, hey, you're the king, LeBron, respect. You go ahead and start, because this may potentially be his last season. Possibly. Yeah. So, like, they may go ahead and just give that to him. That's what I think. I think that the other guys are more than worthy of that. But I think this is just a symptom of where LeBron's at in his career.
All right.
Now, let's keep in mind that the All-Star is voted on by the fans, which is different, than other sports. Football, not the case, So I think,
I got to applaud that. I have to applaud that.
Okay, no problem at all. Yeah, I think America spoke, and he has to accept what America said. Like, you know what I mean? This is not voted on by his peers. Now, between these guys, SGA, Luke, Victor, Wynn, who needs a sandwich, and Jalen, like, you know what I mean? Victor Sandwich, when we start calling him.
Yeah, that's his new name on Sports and Slams. It's Victor Needs a Sandwich.
Slim Vic.
Yeah.
Slim Vic.
Slim Vic. Yeah.
Slim Vic. Yo, well, you know what? You get an applause for that too. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Slim Vic.
Yeah.
So I think would one of them, I don't know. I don't see, therein lies the irony, like with Jordan, because he was such revered and everyone knew he was the GOAT. Is
SGA going to give up his spot?
Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who would, out of these guys because it's LeBron James. Don't people respect LeBron James, but they don't fear him. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the difference. I don't think any of these dudes will volunteer. Like, no.
I think if anyone would, I think it would be Slim Vic.
Yeah.
Wow. You think Slim Vic would do it?
Just got to.
Because you know Ozempa Luka's not.
No.
Yeah, Luka's
No.
SGA, hell no. And Jalen Brunson, like, I just got here. No.
Yeah. I'm
Like,
just
you know what
happy
I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
finally on an all-star team, so he ain't
Yeah,
giving
he
me
wasn't
this.
all-star last year. For him, I understand why he didn't. Like, we won the midseason championship. There's no way he would. But I think Slim Vic would, bro. If any of the four, I think Slim Vicky.
Yeah. My take is this. I think, like Max said, this is voted by the fans. LeBron is coming to the end. Boys to men, end of the road. And it's one of those things, dude. Like, there's no way if I'm SGA, even though you must respect him and admire him, I'm not giving up my spot on the All-Star game because you don't know how you're ever going to get. Basketball's a crazy sport. Things happen. You get hurt.
Yep.
So if I'm him, I'm not. I'm Luka. The Lakers are my team. Why am I giving you my spot? And if I'm Slim Vic, he's the franchise player of that team. So I don't know. I mean, there's got to be another player that maybe will in the West that will give it to him. I just don't know who. But
Look,
LeBron, he's gracious enough to still play. I'm surprised he didn't throw a little fit and say I'm not even playing in the All-Star game. But he's still
Or even
playing.
show up.
Yes.
Yeah. But to your point, Mac, if he does allow Vic does allow LeBron to go in, he can eat that sandwich, like you said.
Exactly.
Yep.
Someone get that kid a sandwich. Boy.
Oh my God. All right.
Right.
We're going to baseball. And the last two topics,
Woo!
Kyle Tucker
Wow.
is signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yes, the Dodgers are getting better and better and better. 4 years, $240 million. I don't know how this is working, but the Dodgers now have Freeman, Mookie Betts, Ohtani, and Kyle Tucker. I don't know how this team could get any better. It feels like we had this discussion off air that money talks, and you know what else walks. And if you don't have money in Major League Baseball, you ain't going to win. Mm-hmm. What do you think of this trade, the acquisition, Mac? And what do you think about the Dodgers just piling on talent and piling on talent? And I'm going to let you go first. Walt can go second, and I'll close.
$240 million. So listen, little Austin reference for you, America. I am absolutely stunned, but I understand they are in the business of winning. The revenues, the fan base, the Dodger allure of the blue. Why would you not want to come when you just saw them win the World Series? Now, Ray's a hater. He's a Mets fan. And I had this conversation off air, America, how the Yankees in the 90s were winning championships. Everyone hated on them for winning. They had revenue money. They had the Yes Network that was bringing a profit to them as a franchise. So they had the money to blow. Just like Wheezy and I got money to blow. I mean, they've got paper, America. And so they did what they were supposed to do. Can we get him? What is it going to cost? No problem. The ownership is not owned by one person. I think they have 4 or 5, and Mr. Magic is one of the owners. They all agreed, and he's the face of the team as far as like promotion marketing wise, which he should be. And this is one of these deals where money talks and everything else walks. However, I don't think 240 was the most, but he went to a team that has the opportunity to win. He wants to win, America, and that's why he left. That's all I got.
All right, Walt, what you got?
Look, I totally agree with Mac on that. Kyle Tucker wants to get that ring. The Dodgers are looking like a dynasty right now.
Yeah,
these players are in their prime, and like they're looking like locks to win. What I think what this causes is, or what it guarantees rather, is a lockout after the 2026 season, right?
Because of the money.
Owners are tired of this. They've been trying to get us our salary cap for the longest. The Players Association has gone against that and resisted that for so long. So I think this is going to be a long, drawn out bargain collective bargaining agreement, CBA. I think that we might see. Hopefully, it doesn't bleed into the season, but I think the owners are going to go hard for this because other teams are, smaller markets don't have the capability to create these super teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees, and all the out there, right? So, like, I don't know, man. It's great for the Dodgers. It kind of sucks for everybody else.
All right, here's my take on this. I agree with both of you. I feel like it's money talks and no one else walks. However, to your point, Walt, Major League Baseball is going to push for a salary cap. They have to, because these small market teams are never going to sniff a championship if they don't have a cap. And they're the only sport that doesn't have a cap. And they defer all this money, and the Dodgers have all this money. And I think, if they decide to really push on this, there could be a lockout next year. I agree with you. I don't want to see it, obviously, but it's not looking good. And I feel like, it's one of those things where, the Dodgers can flex because, they have multi-billionaire owners. Magic Johnson's the face of the team, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, like I said, when you got small market teams like the Pittsburghs, the Tampa Bays, Detroit's, who want to compete but can't because they don't have this money. Who wouldn't want a Kyle Tucker? But you can't pay him 4 years, $240. What are you going to do? What did the Mets do? They said, you know what? We're going to get Bo Bichette, pay him 3 years, $125 million. I will start this off. I am very surprised that the Blue Jays would let someone like this go. This guy is an animal. Great offensive juggernaut. I'm very surprised. I didn't think he was ever going to leave that team. I didn't think he was even unhappy on that team. But Cohen has money. New York has money. Not Dodger money, but they have money. And they paid this guy through the wazoo. And welcome to New York, Bo Bichette. But this is bad for Major League Baseball. You have two big market teams, LA and New York, just buying talent. And to both your points, this could be ugly. What do you think about Bo Nose? I'm going to start with Walt, and then I'll let Matt close.
Look, I think it's great for the Mets. They got this guy. I think he was second or third in batting average in all of baseball.
Yeah, I think he was second.
Oh, wow.
So for the Mets to get him, that's great for them, great for their team. I don't understand why the Blue Jays let this guy go. Like, he literally got them to the World Series, like you said before. Like, so it's just like,
I didn't even know he was even in the market. This blew my mind.
Yeah, so if I was the Blue Jays, I would have re-signed this guy and try to run it back again, and everything. But
because forgive me, I don't interrupt you. He's like the franchise player of the team almost.
I think Vlad is.
All right, so but he's like Robin.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. I'll let you continue. Go ahead, brother.
No, I'm almost done. So I think it was a mistake by the Blue Jays. Good on the Mets for them getting this guy. I think it adds to the Mets roster because they have I forget his name. I should remember his name. But Soto. They have Bichette now, Lindor. They have some hitters. They have some guys now, right? So I think it's great for the Mets, and hopefully it'll hopefully the Mets will get there to the promised land, back to the chip.
All right, Mac, what do you think about this trade? Because again, piggybacking on Walt, that blew my mind.
Well, listen, first and foremost, America, about 3-4 weeks ago, when all of a sudden the Mets were letting all their players go, I'm like, what are they doing? And Ray's like, they better be go get two, but I don't know. Like, he was angry. And I understood it's like, we're going to let talent leave. I know we just lost, but damn, are we going to try and retain anybody? Well, here you go. Your Christmas gift, Bo Bichette, 3 years, 125. But mind you, they let like 3 talent players go. And now they just got one guy. But again, this is one of these deals where, just like you said, the possibility of lockout, 3 years, 125. Why wouldn't the Blue Jays want him? You guys are in the championship. Like, why would you let him leave? And the same thing like the Mets. Why would you let your talent leave? I don't know who they're going to get to replace him because the Blue Jays are in a small market. And maybe that could be why, Walt. They can't afford to keep him because he knew he wanted to get paid. And they're like, we can't give you that much. I mean, and he's like, all right, well, if not, I don't have any loyalty here. I've only been with y'all for 4 years. If you don't want to pay me, I'm out. So, and and of course, if they could have countered offered, I think they would have.
How long was he with the Blue Jays? Walt, can you look that up?
Yeah, I'll look it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was only like 3 or 4 years, right? That wasn't long. But I mean, it was enough for him to make an impact on the team to become the guy. Like, you know what I mean? But it's just unfortunate. You know what I mean? Like, ouch, man. So, yeah.
Let me ask you this, Mac. That's a very, 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 very good point. Do you think that they probably wanted him, but they just couldn't afford him because Toronto is a small market team? Yeah. Or was it more like we need to just make sure we keep Vlad Guerrero on the team, and if we have to let him go, we do? Like, what was the reason? Because honestly, Bo got them. I love Vlad Guerrero, but Bo got them to the World Series. Yep. He hit some home runs in that championship series that got them to the promised land. So to let him go,
7 years. 7 years.
7 years. Okay, so dude, Bo Bichette is a Blue Jay icon in that organization. Yeah. It blew my mind. So again, do you think it was a money situation, or was it like we need to keep Batman happy, and if Robin's got to go, fly Robin, fly?
So here's my thoughts. My thinking is this. It's the same thing with Cleveland and LeBron first time around. He got there. He took them to the championship. They lost 4 straight. And he's like, I can't be the only running lawnmower in this field of 7 other broken lawnmowers. I can't cut all this grass by myself. And he just had enough. And I think it's one of them deals where Bo sees everyone else getting paid. Vlad is a good guy. Seeing everyone else getting paid. Case in point, 4 years, 4 years, and $240 million. How come I can't get paid? You know what? I'm not going to give up any more years of.
That's a great call.
You again? Would you be offended if I applaud you again?
No. You know what? And that's why this show is about realism. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone wants to get paid. I'm going to guess this man said, listen, I want to get paid. Now, look, it's one of them. He's not Domingo. All right. This dude is value. He's not Jonathan Domingo who wants a trade and screaming loudly. We just didn't hear about it. I'm pretty sure it was going on. And he's like, okay, no problem at all. I've given y'all 7. You know what? It's time to get paid like the world trade, bro. And he left. I'm not mad at him.
I'm not mad at him either. I'm just surprised.
I think it's definitely a money thing. They gave Vlad 14 years, $500 million extension in 2025. Yeah. So the Blue Jays probably didn't have enough money to give Bo. You know what I'm saying? So
they probably said maybe like 3 years, maybe $85 million. Yeah. And he's like, yo, I can make 125 somewhere else.
Yeah.
30-40 million that's not $30,000-$40,000. That's $30-40 million. So I understand.
Because he and Vlad, they both made their Jays debut in the same year, 2019.
Really? Wow. Oh, see, so they disrespected him then. That's what that was.
Dude, like Mac, like and to Walt, like I didn't even know he was an option. I'm thinking, maybe they're gonna go after Corey Bellinger. Like, who else is left? The fact that he was even in the conversation blew my mind. Cause like Bo's not gonna leave Toronto. Him and Vlad are like this, and from what I know, there's no internal beef with those guys. So I was like, okay, but then Walt, to your point, Toronto, paid Vlad $500 million. They don't have the money. I'm sure they probably offered him something. Maybe I would say if I had to guess, and you guys could chime in, maybe 3 years, 75-80 million, and he's probably like, nah, it's not enough.
Maybe 90. And you're right, like for 14 years though, who signed someone for the rest of their career? 500 million, 14 years. Like that guy's taxes is based from Toronto for the next 14. Like, who does that?
Look,
you know what I'm saying?
And the last extension that he got from the Blue Jays was in 2023, 3 years, $33 million. And then you see your boy get $500 million. You're like, hey.
All right. We're going to the final buzzer. This is where you can ask us anything about anything. Let's close this out. We have a couple of comments. Let me read some of these. My man Tim is not a LeBron fan. Nando's basically saying the Dodgers will win the World Series again. Unfortunately,
they sure are.
I guess so. And Eric brings up a very good point. Dodgers are the king of deferred contracts. I believe this one has $34 million deferred. It is not good for baseball by doing it like this. and buy now and pay later mentality, that's what they do best. I agree, Eric. I agree. It's going to affect baseball, dude. You can't have all those deferred money on the salary cap. They don't have a cap, but you can't have $34 million deferred on your payroll, dude. Like, how does that work? You're a payroll guru, Walt. How do you defer $34 million?
I've never heard of deferring any payments in payroll. People want their money on time, so
that's just nuts.
Yeah.
And he brings up another point. Bichette and Vlad were in the minor leagues together. They have a solid friendship. Yeah, dude. Like I said, I was blown away. Yep. And this isn't me, as a Met fan. This is a baseball fan. I didn't even think he was an option. So for him to leave, like that to me, just like says like, this salary thing is getting out of control because he probably wanted to stay in Toronto, but to Mack's point, dude, $25-30 million is a difference.
All Toronto gave him was a qualifying offer, Ray, of $22 million a year.
No, see, that's it, dude.
So you know what?
Million? So what does that come out to, like almost 70 for 3 years, right? Dude, 70 and 125, dude. That's
Let's think about this, gentlemen. Let's think about this. Let's think of Bobby Bonilla. Every year, January 1st, $1,134,000 based off his last time he played an NBA and MLB game was 2011. Keep in mind, they're paying him $1.1 million.
Yeah, that's one of the worst contracts ever.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Because it's guaranteed money. So this $34 million deferred will probably help him on the back end once he retires.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, deferred money means we're going to pay you later. And if it's a Bobby Bonilla situation, he was owed $5.7 million on his last contract that he played. What team was he played with? I think the Mets. Was it?
Yeah, it was the Mets. He retired as a Met.
So what happened was that his agent negotiated and deferred money that would balance out for him for the long term after he stopped playing. So 2035, this guy has in place since 2011 with $1.1 million a year.
So for $34 million, so he's getting 4 years for $206 million. That other 34 is broken down. How many years he's going to get that? Over 10 years? How do you defer that?
Yeah, 10 plus.
Would you agree, Walt? You're the payroll guy. How much?
That's crazy. Like, so for him, it was from 2011 to 2035. So you're talking about 24 years that he deferred that. He negotiated it in 2000, but it got deferred for between that 24-year period. So
if he's deferring $34 million, that's what, over 34 years? He's going to do a Bonilla and say, I want $1 million a year for 34 years when I retire?
Man, but that's how that it's deposit. Like, we don't see it up front because we think he should get the money up front. He's playing, but he's like, listen, we all know with NBA as well as NFL players, the average is 5 years after they're out of the league, they are broke. Unless they do investing and smart business decisions. But 80% of those players are broke after 5 years because they create this lifestyle. And once you're not receiving a check every week, it easily evaporates and everyone gives you great business.
Timmons asking a really good question. Derrick Rose, Iverson, Westbrook, Jason Williams. Who would you cut in their prime? That's easy. Jason Williams. No.
Yeah,
Jason Williams.
Really?
Williams.
No.
No.
I love D Rose. I'm not cutting Iverson. Westbrook. Yeah, Westbrook.
Because
Jason Williams, that kid had ball handle skills.
Yeah.
Unmatched by any.
Yeah. I'm going Westbrook.
Yeah,
Westbrook's always been a ball hog, man, and still is.
Triple-double machine.
And that's for everyone.
Randy Johnson or Roger Clemens? Randy Johnson.
Randy.
And now, see, here we go. This is what the team called the New York Yankees. They had them both on the roster because they paid for them, and they both on the roster, and they won a chip that year also, too.
But who are you taking, Randy or Roger?
I'm taking Randy. I thought had more edge.
Yeah.
His attitude was different.
Blame Birdie Matter for the Bonilla. I agree.
And
we'll lock it up. Look at the rest of the Dodgers. Over 100 million players and the deferred money. That's a lot. Woo.
That's crazy, man.
I mean, I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to be your payroll guy for that. Woo. How are you deferring all that money? That's crazy.
Yeah. It's a good deal for the player on the back end.
Yes. All right. Well, that's a wrap, guys. I want to thank you guys again for joining us. I appreciate you guys' time. Walt, I know you're gonna be back next week to finish this NFL saga.
What
do you want to say? Parting shots, I should say, before you go?
Look, glad to be here. This is always so much fun to be on this show with you guys. And check out the podcast. If you want to learn about payroll, your paychecks, check out It's About Payroll on any streaming platform. We're there. Check us out on LinkedIn, anywhere, IG. Thank you guys again. Looking forward to next week.
All right, boys. Stay in the studio. All right, Mac.
All right.
Another great show. A lot of great comments.
Absolutely. I listen. Thank you to all of our fans that support our show. As far as our platform, we're available on iHeart, Spotify. Please like, follow, and share. Real quick shout out to the famous sorority of Alpha Kappa Alpha. They celebrated their anniversary, as well as Delta Sigma Theta, as well as Phi Beta Sigma. So I just want to shout out everyone and recognize those fraternities and orgs. And I just want to say, America, keep family in mind with the holiday season again. We want you to like, follow, and share our show from Boink Studios.
Thank you, my friend. I will see you next week. Stay in the studio. All right, gang. That wraps it up again. Another Race Sports and Slams. I want to thank again my partner in crime, Matt Garvin, and my friend Walt. Great show. Lots of stuff to talk about. We will see you next week. We'll see if our predictions in the NFL come true. See you next week. And thank you. Please like, share, subscribe. BoinkStudios.com. Race Sports and Slams.